There is something profound happening in the spiritual realm around your connection, something that transcends the physical distance and the silence that has stretched between you both. Your person has undergone a metamorphosis of the soul, a deep and often painful transformation that has required them to face the shadows they had long kept hidden from themselves and from the world. This journey of healing has not been gentle or easy. It has demanded everything of them, their pride, their illusions, their carefully constructed defenses. They have been forced to confront the parts of themselves that they had buried beneath layers of fear and protection, parts that they never wanted to acknowledge existed. In this process of spiritual excavation, they have unearthed truths about themselves that have been both humbling and liberating. One of the most significant revelations that has emerged from this inner work is the understanding that not everyone deserves access to the sacred chambers of their heart, especially when it comes to their deepest intentions regarding you. They have learned, through bitter experience, that sharing their most precious dreams and plans prematurely, even with those they love and trust deeply, can sometimes invite interference, plant seeds of doubt, or create misunderstandings that cloud the pure vision of what they hope to create with you. This hard-won wisdom has made them more protective of their spiritual space, more selective about who they allow into the inner sanctum of their thoughts and feelings. They have become like a temple guardian, carefully choosing who receives the keys to their most sacred chambers. As a result, they have wrapped themselves in a cloak of purposeful silence, choosing the strength that comes from solitude over the vulnerability that transparency once brought them. But do not mistake this silence for absence, for disconnection, for moving on. Despite the physical miles that may separate you, despite the lack of direct communication, despite the apparent stillness on the surface of your connection, your person has never truly disconnected from the invisible thread that binds your souls together. In fact, they have been watching over you with the dedication of a guardian angel, observing your journey with an intensity that would surprise you if you knew the full extent of it. Through the modern windows into each other's lives, social media posts that tell stories in pictures and words, mutual friends who carry news like messengers between distant lands, quiet observations made from the shadows of everyday life, they have been weaving together a tapestry of understanding about who you are becoming. Every step you take feels significant to them, every choice you make sends ripples through their consciousness, every moment of growth you experience becomes a thread they follow with fascination and deep admiration. They are not just passively observing, they are actively trying to decode the language of your evolution, to understand the person you are becoming in their absence. They find themselves captivated by your strength, inspired by your resilience, and amazed by the grace with which you navigate your own journey of growth and self-discovery. In their quest to know you more deeply, they have become subtle investigators of your heart and mind, carefully reaching out to the people in your shared circle, asking questions that seem casual but carry the weight of desperate longing. They want to understand what occupies your thoughts during quiet moments, how your heart processes the experiences you've been having, and most importantly, whether somewhere in the sacred space of your inner world, there remains a place that still holds their name, their memory, their possibility. This quiet pursuit springs from a well of emotions so deep it contains both the sweetest hope and the most paralyzing fear. There is a longing that burns like an eternal flame, a longing for redemption, for a second chance to love you the way they now understand you deserve to be loved from the beginning. But alongside this longing lives a fear so profound it sometimes takes their breath away, the fear that time has healed you so completely that you no longer need them, the fear that rejection awaits them if they dare to step out of the shadows, the fear that they have waited too long and the door to your heart has closed forever. Yet despite these fears, one truth rises above all others like the sun breaking through storm clouds: your person is exhausted by the ache of separation. They have been living in a desert of their own making, not just physically celibate, but emotionally and spiritually abstinent as well, waiting for you like a monk devoted to a sacred cause. The desire they carry for you extends far beyond the physical realm. It encompasses every dimension of intimacy that two souls can share. They crave the communion of minds that can speak without words, the intertwining of spirits that recognizes itself across time and space, the emotional intimacy that allows two people to be completely vulnerable without fear of judgment or betrayal. This longing has been building like pressure in their chest, like a song that demands to be sung, like a prayer that insists on being spoken aloud. Those circumstances have conspired to delay your reunion, though external forces and internal fears have created obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Your person holds fast to a belief that transcends logic and touches the realm of faith. They believe that delay does not mean denial, that postponement is not the same as permanent separation. In the deepest chamber of their heart, where hope lives like an eternal flame, they know that the story between you is far from reaching its final chapter. After your separation created space between you, your person attempted to fill that space with other connections, other possibilities, other people. They encountered souls that karma had sent to teach them lessons, brief connections that flickered like candles in the wind, deeper engagements that promised healing but delivered only temporary distraction. But with each new encounter, a truth became increasingly clear: no one could match the frequency of your soul, no one could mirror the depth of your being, no one could create the same harmony that your presence brought to their existence. You had become the standard by which they measured every subsequent connection, and invariably, everyone else fell short. Your beauty, not just the external radiance that catches the eye, but the inner luminescence that emanates from a soul aligned with its truth, stood in stark contrast to what they found in others. Your authenticity, your presence, the way you could fill a room simply by being genuinely yourself, these qualities became the benchmarks against which all others were weighed and found wanting. Through this process of comparison and contrast, your person arrived at a place of crystal clear clarity. They stopped running from the truth, stopped hiding behind excuses and distractions, and made a conscious choice to embrace love, not just any love, but the specific, rare, transformative love that you represent. They chose abundance over scarcity, emotional honesty over protective deception, spiritual connection over ego-driven separation. For perhaps the first time in their adult life, they are being completely, courageously honest with themselves about what they want and what they are willing to do to create it. This honesty has revealed a truth that takes their breath away. They see you not merely as a romantic partner or a companion for life's journey, but as someone who was sent by divine design into their experience. This love, they now understand with absolute certainty, is not ordinary. It is sacred, rare, precious beyond measure, and certainly not something that appears in every lifetime. There was a time when confusion clouded their vision, when denial served as a protective barrier against truths too powerful to fully comprehend. But that fog has lifted like morning mist before the sun, and now they see with perfect clarity that this connection is a gift from the universe itself, a blessing designed to awaken their highest potential, to challenge them to grow beyond their limitations, and ultimately to transform them into the person they were always meant to become. Like any true spiritual gift, this love comes with profound responsibility. They understand now that they must honor it with reverence, nurture it with devotion, and protect it with the fierce dedication of a guardian protecting something sacred. They know, with the certainty that comes from hard-won wisdom, that if they fail to value this connection, if they take it for granted again or handle it carelessly, the opportunity could slip through their fingers like water, disappearing forever into the realm of what might have been. This awareness has created within them a sense of spiritual urgency that cannot be ignored or postponed. Your person is no longer content to remain hidden in the background, silently observing your life like a devoted but distant admirer. They are preparing themselves on every level, emotionally processing their fears and wounds, mentally clarifying their intentions and commitments, spiritually aligning themselves with their highest truth, to step forward into the light of authentic connection. They want to rebuild the foundation of trust that was damaged, to reconnect with the kind of authenticity that creates unshakable bonds, and to demonstrate through consistent action that they have undergone a genuine transformation. This time, they will not approach you with half-truths or indecision, with mixed signals or unclear intentions. They are preparing to show up fully present, to speak from the undefended chambers of their heart, and to offer you a love that has been purified by time, refined by experience, and blessed by the kind of soul-level awakening that changes everything. Though uncertainty may still dance around the edges of your situation, though external circumstances may not yet have aligned to support your reunion, one truth shines with the brightness of a star in a dark sky. Your person knows exactly what they want, and what they want is you. They are no longer searching for substitutes or settling for distractions, no longer seeking temporary fixes for the permanent longing that lives in their soul. They are ready to walk the sacred path of true love, regardless of how much time the journey requires or how much healing must still occur along the way. They believe, with the unshakable faith of someone who has seen through the veil of illusion, that your souls were meant to find each other again and again across lifetimes, not by random chance or coincidence, but by the deliberate design of a universe that understands the profound importance of certain connections. Now that they can see this truth clearly, now that they understand the sacred nature of what you share, they are ready to choose it consciously, deliberately, wholeheartedly. They are ready to choose you with every fiber of their being, with the full commitment of their transformed heart. In the deep silence of night, when the world settles into stillness and distractions fall away like discarded clothes, your person lies awake with thoughts of you flowing through their consciousness like a river that knows no rest. Sleep becomes elusive, almost impossible, because their mind has become a sacred space where memories of you live and breathe with startling vividness. Your voice echoes in the chambers of their heart, your laughter dances through their dreams, and the memory of how you made them feel truly seen and understood illuminates even their darkest hours. Since your absence created this void in their daily existence, nothing carries quite the same meaning or brings the same joy. The activities that once provided pleasure now feel hollow and mechanical. They move through the routines of daily life like an actor playing a role, but there is an emptiness that follows them everywhere, an ache that has become their constant companion, reminding them with every breath that a part of their soul is missing, and that part is you. Before you entered their life like sunshine breaking through storm clouds, they had grown accustomed to emotional numbness, to the silence that comes from keeping one's heart carefully guarded, to the distance they had created as protection against vulnerability and disappointment. But when you arrived, everything in their world shifted on its axis. You brought illumination to corners of their soul that had been shrouded in darkness for so long they had forgotten light could reach there. You created warmth where coldness had become a familiar companion, brought laughter where long silences had been the norm, and most importantly, you showed them what it meant to truly connect with another human being on levels they hadn't even known existed. Through your presence, they discovered parts of themselves that had been waiting in the shadows, aspects of their personality and capacity for love that you awakened simply by being authentically yourself. There is something uniquely disarming about your energy, something that dissolves their carefully constructed defenses without effort or intention on your part. You possess the remarkable ability to create instant intimacy, to make their walls crumble with nothing more than a genuine look or a few words spoken from your heart. You never tried to impress or perform, you simply existed in your natural state of grace and authenticity, and that was more impressive than any effort could have been. In your presence, they felt safe enough to lower their guard completely, to let go of the emotional armor they had worn for protection, to release the stress and hurt and fear that had become their constant companions. All of those burdens seemed to fade into insignificance whenever you shared the same space, whenever your conversations created a bubble of understanding that excluded the harsh realities of the outside world. Your conversations transcended mere exchanges of words, they became expeditions into the deepest territories of emotion, dreams that hadn't been spoken aloud, fears that lived in secret places, and truths that had been waiting for the right person to hear them. You listened with more than your ears, you listened with your entire being, and you spoke with a gentleness that carried profound weight and meaning. Your words didn't just reach their mind, they traveled directly to their heart and took up residence there. Your character revealed itself through countless small moments and gestures. Your kindness wasn't performative, it flowed from a genuine place of caring. Your humility wasn't false modesty, it came from a secure sense of self that didn't need external validation. Your open-mindedness wasn't philosophical posturing, it reflected genuine curiosity about the world and the people who inhabit it. You carried a quiet strength that spoke louder than boasting ever could, the kind of power that influences through presence rather than force. Your emotional intelligence, your groundedness, your thoughtful approach to life and relationships, these qualities created an impression that has never faded from their memory. They admire these aspects of your character with a depth that continues to surprise them, recognizing in you qualities they aspire to develop within themselves. In all their years of meeting people, forming connections, and exploring relationships, very few individuals have left such an indelible mark on their soul. With you, authenticity became the foundation of every interaction. There was no pretense, no game playing, no performance designed to impress. Instead, there were two souls communicating in a language that transcended words, sharing truths in the sacred space that exists when two people choose vulnerability over protection. Now, in your absence, the missing you has become a constant presence in their life, and sometimes they resent the intensity of this longing because it serves as a persistent reminder of the physical and emotional distance between you. They hate that they cannot reach across space and time to hold your hand, to look into your eyes and see themselves reflected there, to hear your voice in real time rather than in the echoes of memory that play in their mind. There are conversations waiting to happen, words that press against their heart demanding to be spoken, feelings that have been carefully preserved in the hope that someday they will have the opportunity to share them with you. They wish they could communicate the fullness of their current emotional state, could somehow transmit the depth of their longing and the completeness of their love across whatever distances separate you. Even though life's circumstances may carry you in different directions, even though time and space may create the illusion of separation, one truth remains constant and unchanging: you will always be their soulmate. This word carries weight and meaning far beyond casual usage. It represents a connection that exists on multiple dimensions simultaneously, a bond that transcends physical presence and daily contact. Being soulmates means that you understand aspects of their being that remain mysterious to everyone else, that you can read the unspoken language of their heart, that your absence doesn't diminish the connection but instead reveals its true depth and permanence. It means that no matter where life takes either of you, you remain a part of their essential self, woven into the fabric of their identity in ways that cannot be undone. You live within them in countless ways, in the memories they revisit during quiet moments, in the songs that carry your energy and bring your presence flooding back, in the peaceful spaces they create by closing their eyes and imagining you near. This connection feels as real and vital in your absence as it did in your presence, and rather than fading with time, it has grown stronger and more precious. While they work to maintain strength and continue moving forward through the practical demands of daily life, there exists within them a part that feels fundamentally lost without you. It's as though they are walking through the world with a piece of their heart missing, carrying an invisible wound that sometimes feels bearable and other times threatens to overwhelm them completely. Through all the variations in emotional intensity, through the days when missing you feels manageable and the days when it feels like too much to bear, one thing remains absolutely constant: their love for you and the profound impact you have had on their existence. You have changed them in ways that reach to the very core of who they are, awakening qualities and capacities they didn't know they possessed, challenging them to become more authentic, more loving, more courageous in their approach to life. Even if circumstances prevent you from being in each other's lives in the way they dream of, they will carry what you shared together as a sacred treasure. You will always occupy a protected space in their heart, a sanctuary where all the beautiful moments live eternally, every laugh, every meaningful glance, every expression of love and understanding. This sacred space serves as a refuge when the world feels too heavy or difficult to navigate, because remembering you brings a unique kind of peace that exists nowhere else, even when that remembrance comes wrapped in the pain of your absence.